Hey guys, tonight we're stepping back into a time that might just make you thankful for your modern, albeit sleepy, life. Picture this. The soft hum of your laptop fan blends seamlessly with the dull glow of fairy lights draped haphazardly across the wall, casting their warm, golden hue over a sea of cozy, mismatched blankets. Beneath them, toes snuggle further into fluffy socks as your eyes get heavier. We're traveling to the bustling, vibrant heart of the Ottoman Empire. You probably won't survive this. In the nicest way possible, of course, because the Ottoman mornings were something else entirely. Before you get too comfy, feel free to tap like or subscribe, but only if you're genuinely enjoying the calm around here. Tell me where you're listening from and what time it is over there. I love seeing how far this sleepy little journey reaches. Now, go ahead and lower the lights. Maybe let a fan hum in the background, and let's drift gently into tonight's story together. So here you are, opening your eyes to the hazy dawn of a new day in the Ottoman Empire. You're instantly greeted by a cascade of sounds. Vendors setting up shop with the same urgency as someone settling in with a never-ending scroll of TikTok reels. You'd think you're in some kind of historic TikTok version where hashtags include bustling bazaar or Ottoman life. The air is different here, thick with the scent of spices, a warmth from freshly baked simmet wafting by. Honestly, it's more sensory overload than your usual notifications barrage first thing in the morning. As you pull back the curtain in this Ottoman morning, the city slowly unfurls with life. The streets are a vibrant tapestry of intertwined stories and duties. Each small task woven in just like those intricate carpets that everyone seems to be obsessed with. And just like modern life, when you're standing in the glow of your fridge, hoping snacks will magically appear, here you'd probably hope the bustling streets would somehow slow down for you. Yet, they never do. Already, there's a lesson to be learned from the past. You had no phone alarms to snooze back then, just the city waking up, dragging you with it. That's both terrifying and oddly charming. Waking up to life's grand orchestra instead of the tinny sound of your fifth alarm, which you definitely plan to ignore. Historians still argue whether the bustling street life in cities like Istanbul was planned chaos or absolute organized perfection. Some say it was like a grand dance of daily life, effortless and perfectly synchronized, while others argue you'd be tripping over cobblestones, distracted by the staggering array of sights and smells. And, you just might stub your toe on an extravagantly carved fountain, because, in charming irony, you were as distracted as when you're doing the old "I'll reply LOL" without laughing maneuver to avoid awkward silence in a group chat. Want to hear something quirky? The Ottomans were actually pioneers of delivery services. Yep, you could have the empire's finest cuisine brought right to your door, much like tapping away on a food delivery app while having groceries you bought like 2 days ago just sitting there untouched. So here we are, soaking up the rich tapestry of sound, sight, and smell. The kind that no modern city perfectly captures, despite its best attempts with LED-lit billboards and chain stores pumping synthetic fragrances. It's raw, it's alive. A little reminder that history, much like your phone battery at 2%, can be both thrilling and incredibly nerve-wracking. And as you walk further into the heart of it all, each step's another beat in this ancient city's pulse. And that, dear listener, is the magic of waking to an Ottoman sunrise, where simply opening your eyes feels like embarking on the day's first grand adventure. But don't worry, Our night here together is far from over. The day's just begun, and it promises much more than just the usual snooze of another day in this sprawling empire. Now, imagine yourself shuffling down a cobblestone street, the sunlight just barely creeping over the rooftops. You might think about the days back home where slipping into your favorite slippers to grab the mail outside feels like a mission. But here, it's like the cobblestones have minds of their own, each one an untold story trying desperately to trip you up. Or maybe they're just making sure you're awake, because the city certainly is. As you wander deeper into the city's embrace, you find yourself pulled towards the heart of the bazaar. Here, the air thrums with the kind of energy that makes even the most crowded metro station look like a calm backwater. It's like each seller's cry is another ping on your phone, each scent a notification from nature herself. One stall boasts spices so vivid, the rainbow would text their group chat, wondering why they didn't get the invite to this color party. You pause at a vendor selling sweet, sticky lokum, better known as Turkish delight. It glistens under the morning sun, and between its colors and textures, you swear it winks at you as if to say, "Swipe right, you know you want to." And who wouldn't? Honestly, it's the kind of mid-morning treat that back home would require ordering, waiting, and maybe a tip if they even bothered to get the order right. Here, though, it's a momentary indulgence, one quick bite as you sip a deep, rich Turkish coffee. Speaking of coffee, did you know the Ottoman Empire had an incredibly intricate coffee culture? The kind that makes your local hipster cafe look like child's play? Coffee houses were places of deep intellectual discussion, political maneuvering, or just gathering spots where people did the historical equivalent of pretending to work on their novels, while actually people watching. They say one of the biggest debates was over who poured your coffee and in what manner, because obviously these things matter a lot. Like when you're deciding between natural and dark modes on your apps, because somehow the color scheme just feels emotionally accurate to that day or night. Let's be real. Historians still argue whether coffee's introduction truly fueled social change, or if it was merely one part of a grander narrative. Did caffeine literally kickstart intellectual revolutions? Or is that just romanticized hindsight? Meanwhile, people across the ages were probably doing the ancient version of endlessly refreshing for new updates, but with the world around them instead of Instagram. With your coffee in hand, savoring each earthy, rich sip, the bitterness balanced by the sweetness of lokum, you're engulfed by the market's buzz. There's something comforting about being a small part of it, almost comforting in a way that staring blankly at unread notifications is, hoping they will deal with themselves. Still munching on lokum, you meander through the market. The warm, heavy scents of roasting meat intermingle with tangy pickles, fresh bread, and the unmistakable aroma of za'atar. At one time or another, you reflect on the quirks of modern life, feeling oddly nostalgic for an era you never truly experienced firsthand. But isn't that part of what makes history enchanting? You spot a bustling fabric stall, awash with kaleidoscopic colors and textures so varied they could have inspired 1,000 Pinterest boards. You're tempted to reach out and touch the fabrics, wondering which might make the perfect scarf or robe to transform your look from sluggish, just rolled out of bed, to effortlessly chic. Quite the upgrade from draping yourself in a hoodie that's seen better days. This life, spun so many centuries ago, feels both foreign and incredibly familiar. Perhaps that's the magic of history. Like a story told by the inviting glow of candlelight, it illuminates the past with warmth, reminding us, while much has changed, the fundamental rhythm of life still beats within every era. And as the sun climbs higher, washing the city with golden hues, you realize that here, in the bazaar's heart, the world feels wonderfully and irresistibly alive. As you weave through the labyrinthine paths of the bazaar, a vibrant tapestry of voices surrounds you, a medley of bargains being struck, spices being sold, and dreams being woven into reality. It's like a living chat room where everyone has something to say, and miraculously, they're all actually listening to each other. Quite the upgrade from those muted group chats back home, right? You catch the wafting perfume of fresh herbs mingling with the earthy scent of hand-rolled tobacco, the potent aroma of olives basking under the sun. Each scent a gentle tug on your senses, a silent text inviting you to a momentary pause. It's all a reminder of how life can be both intensely immediate and beautifully ephemeral. And just when you think you've seen it all, you stumble into a corner stall showcasing the most exquisite Ottoman garments. These are no ordinary clothes. Nope. We're talking elaborate caftans and sashes embroidered with patterns that could hypnotize even the most inattentive scroller. You debate trying one on. Remember how last time you changed your outfit 3 times before leaving? And then imagine doing that here with these layers. Your inner voice chuckles at the thought. Now, here's a quirky tidbit for you. It was quite the privilege to dress in certain styles and colors in the Ottoman Empire. Your outfit wasn't just a fashion choice, but a reflection of your social status. Can you picture warning signs at clothing stalls? Unauthorized wearing of imperial threads is prohibited. Yup, certain fabrics and colors were reserved solely for the elite. And you thought deciding what to wear to impress your Instagram followers was hard. Historians still argue whether these sumptuary laws helped maintain social order or merely amplified existing class divides. Would people have rebelled more had they allowed peasants to dress like royalty? Or were the silk and silver splendor just part of the grand theatrical illusion that is society? Back in our winding exploration, every garment you accidentally brush against feels like it's trying to tell you its own history. A whisper of the hands that wove them, the palaces where they might have fluttered faintly against a sultan's skin. It's yet another reminder of how connected things are. Threads literally and metaphorically, tugging at the essence of what makes us human. Should your modern self take a selfie in these vibrant lanes maybe? But do you think you'd need a caption? Or would the glint of sunlight off a bejeweled belt say all that's needed without a single hashtag? Sweeping through these delicate fabrics, you pull yourself back into the bustling stream of the market. Here lies evidence of how deeply entrenched the Ottoman Empire was in trade. The myriad of goods pouring in from various corners of the world, a stark contrast to the simplified click of an add to cart button. Your shoes leave faint dust clouds as you wander past ceramic stalls, overflowing with bowls and plates adorned with intricate, characteristic blue and white Iznik patterns. The pottery seems to wink at you knowingly, inviting a touch, a caress, daring you to imagine them gracing your kitchen shelves, where right now sits a lineup of chipped mugs, each with forgotten tea stains. The bazaar twists and turns, the sunlight creating pools of warmth against its cobblestone floor. And amidst all this hubbub, you become aware of how the simplest things, the patter of feet, laughter echoing merrily, the jingle of coins exchanged, create a soundscape that transcends time. It's a symphony, both ancient and immediate, calling out, reminding you that every day, in every age, holds its own little magic, its own quiet battles and victories. And as the sun slowly slides towards an afternoon embrace, the hustle of the bazaar begins to soften, the hum easing into another lazy rhythm, a reminder that, like scrolling through countless reels, this too is transient. Yet in this fleeting dance of commerce, culture, and community, you find yourself surprisingly at home. Warmth radiates from the sun's trajectory through the day, casting an ethereal glow over the Ottoman streets. You walk past peddlers, jugglers, and storytellers, their narratives spiraling into the air like whispering ghosts of 1,000 tales. Much like how your grandma's stories seem to float around you, leaving you both puzzled and mesmerized. It's also surreal. It might just beat watching your favorite fantasy series unfold in real life. Speaking of tales, you find yourself in the midst of an unexpected conversation. Well, listening really, as two merchants passionately debate the merits of their spices. Is saffron the true king of them all, or does sumac hold the crown? Honestly, this bubbling debate sounds like a culinary version of which is better, cats or dogs? Equally as silly and indefinitely unresolved. Historians still argue whether the bustling trade of spices in the Ottoman era was driven more by culinary needs or prestige, because let's face it, sometimes you used a pinch merely to impress your dinner guests the way we send a meme instead of expressing complex emotions. Nonetheless, these tins filled with colorful powders held the power to bring distant lands to your doorstep, each teaspoon representing a tiny venture into a world unseen. Much like clicking your way through endless Wikipedia articles until you forget where you started. And then you're pulled deeper into these culinary dreams as the enticing aroma of an Ottoman feast floats from a nearby inn. A table piled high with lamb roasted to tender perfection, dishes of stuffed vegetables glistening with olive oil, piles of rice flecked with herbs, and tiny jewels of pomegranate seeds. Can't you almost taste it? It's a spread that makes your usual cereal bar seem way less appetizing, even if you've convinced yourself otherwise at rush hour. You notice the curious tradition of everyone sitting low to the ground. They tell you it's about humility, a gentle alignment with the earth. It's a far cry from spinning plates on a TV stand while multitasking through game shows at dinner time. Here, it's communal and connecting, like the kind of dinner party you'd imagine throwing if you ever moved out of your apartment. And in the midst of sharing food and laughter, you realize how the simplest interactions help make the most profound memories. This ancient meal, surrounded by people you'd only just met, connects you through the generations. It feels like eating in that cafe you always dream about visiting, where every dish tells its own story, one you'd love to become a part of. As you bite into a succulent slice of lamb, juicier than you ever hoped, rich beyond words, you find yourself momentarily lost. Everything else dims, like the world has graciously agreed to pause, letting you truly savor every nuanced flavor. It almost makes sense why historians believe food and identity are intrinsically linked. Every bite is a footnote to a cultural saga, an anecdote in a back and forth that stretches further than any singular story can convey. The conversation ebbs and flows around you, words dissolving like sugar in warm tea, creating a comforting background, stories within stories, scenes within scenes, past and present, woven intricately like the quilts draped across your grandmother's cozy chair. And then it hits you. The history of the Ottoman Empire, so grand and daunting, unravels itself into these intimate shared moments. Each spoonful, each smile exchanged across the table is more than survival. It's living, truly living, a reminder of the joy and richness found in simply being together. Slowly, the day begins its gentle exhale, the golden hues deepening, softening into shadows as dusk settles over the city, promising new stories yet to unfold. As the day slips quietly into evening, the rhythm of the Ottoman city changes. The hubbub of commerce subsides, leaving behind a gentle murmur of voices, much like the soothing hum of a distant conversation that lulls you into sleep. Lanterns flicker to life, their soft light spilling like liquid gold across cobblestone streets. You step through this warm embrace of twilight, feeling the world around you slow down, as if obligingly matching the pace of your wandering thoughts. You find yourself wandering into the heart of court life, where tales of grandeur and intrigue swirl, grander than any soap opera plot you've unearthed on a lazy weekend binge. Imagine, if you will, the palace, a labyrinthine wonder, where gossip flows faster than couriers, and every corner turned invites, whispers of power, plays, and courtly scandals. Okay, so here's the wild part. Inside the Ottoman court, the harem wasn't just the mysterious, taboo-laden concept people drum up in pop culture. It was actually a vibrant community, like a very exclusive club, without the membership fees, filled with women of diverse backgrounds, each navigating their own path to influence in a world ruled by sultans. You wander through these opulent halls, hinting at tales more complex than the most dramatic of reality TV shows. It becomes apparent that the harem operated like its own universe, a place of education and intrigue, where alliances were forged over gossip laced with a deft touch of intrigue. Etchings on the walls whisper age-old secrets, like the lyrics of an ancient pop song. You kind of know it, yet can't quite place it. Historians still argue whether the harem played a central role in the political maneuverings of the empire, or if it was largely symbolic, a grandiose smoke and mirror dance designed to embellish the mystique of the royal court. Perhaps it was both, a detailed extension of the empire's power interwoven with delicate intimacy, like the threads of a spiderweb glistening with dew. You walk past lavish rooms with their vaulted ceilings, with chandeliers sparkling like the eyes of someone who's just sunk into their pillow after a long day. Their beauty is understated, like an oil painting in which every detail invites rugged emotion, which for a moment feels like the room is drawing you into its own quiet eternity. Here's where you feel the richness of history weaving itself into each moment, right when a servant passes by, perhaps carrying a tray laden with figs, honey, and clotted cream. Are you slipping into a reverie as the sweetness drifts into focus? Who knows? But each step you take feels like another layer being revealed in this grand multimedia show called history, only without the buffering. Even sitting idly, listening to the royal musicians play, imagine a melody so sweet it drifts like fairy lights across the lawn at dusk. You're embracing a cultural narrative that breathes life into the stones and silk surrounding you. Honestly, sometimes it feels like the soundtrack from a movie you can't remember watching, but instinctively feel connected to. Kind of like the memory of an endearing, old lullaby. Ambling out into a secluded courtyard, you find solace where strains of the musician's craft intermingle with the faint croak of evening insects. In this dance between day and night, the complexities of an empire seem simpler. You discover beauty not in chaos, but in the tranquility that night brings, mirroring those moments when your phone's tucked away and your mind is allowed to wander freely into that blissful maze of dreams. And as what remains of the sun's light finally dissolves into a canopy of twinkling stars, you look up. They're like punctuation marks against the dark sky, reassuring flickers urging you to inhale deeply this moment, to simply be present in this blissful ambiguity. A reminder that ahead lies a universe filled not just with history, but with infinite stories waiting to be told. The stars above twinkle as if sharing secrets, offering an ethereal map not bound to any time or place. You tilt your head back, letting the cool night air wash over you, a gentle reminder of childhood nights spent tracing constellations with your finger, trying to make sense of patterns only visible in the ink of night. As you stroll down by the Bosphorus, the water reflects the shimmering skies, rippling like a tapestry woven with moonlight and whispers from the breeze. The gentle lapping of the waves provides a soothing soundtrack, like the gentle whir of a fan that sounds like an old lullaby, the kind that wraps you in a cocoon of comfort. You pause here, a reminder of how geography isn't just about maps and borders, but the stories we live and breathe along the contours of this ancient land. Ottoman boats, known as caiques, bob gracefully in the moonlight, their silhouettes whispering of old adventures and new beginnings. You imagine the hustle and buzz of trade ships brimming with treasures from distant lands. Silk, spices, tapestries, all finding their way through these waters, like an age-old tidal wave of culture and commerce. It's like your feed lighting up with a perfect storm of memes, visceral travel pics, and cat videos all at once. Historians still argue whether the Bosphorus was the empire's lifeline or merely another scenic avenue of trade. But standing here, you'd be hard-pressed to deny its poetic charm. How many love stories started on these shores? How many promises whispered into the waves were carried away, only to resurface centuries later as folklore? Here's a quirky aside. Did you know that Ottomans had a tradition of embellishing the interiors of their caiques with paintings and poetry, turning each boat ride into a floating gallery? It's as though the vessels themselves were the original creative spaces where one might retreat to get their life together, sans the necessity of 3 a.m. Googling. Imagine an artist craving inspiration, a row along the Bosphorus in their personal canvas of dreams could spark 1,000 ideas. As you continue along this watery path, you can practically feel the empire's stories washing over you. Their histories, as detailed as beat-up journals, passed down through countless generations. You realize that this body of water is more than just a divider of land. It's the connective tissue between worlds, bringing together diverse tribes, languages, and trades into a singular, vibrant quilt of humanity. The languid night is cool upon your cheeks, the kind of fresh that harkens to colorful scarves you'd bury your face in during cold stretches at home. You pass by groups gathered on the shore, their laughter filling pockets of space much like unexpected discoveries littered through your favorite podcast. As the walk continues, the cityscape opens up like a lazy fan, ancient structures glowing softly under the lunar illumination. You lean into the moment, savoring the stillness and the wisdom it brings. The kind that wraps you up in your favorite mismatched pajamas long after you should have called it a night, but can't quite pull yourself away from. Finally, you find a small patch of grass, your reflection melding with the shadows cast from the pastel-lit mosques, borrowed light coloring your echoes of history's penumbra. The city sleeps, yet breathes, with a quiet vibrancy mirrored in reflection. A gentle nudge, reminding you that while time is a constant river, the moments within it aren't always linear nor easily understood. Just like us, here, in the now, a small part of something so grand it defies description, and yet feels intimately familiar. Much like settling into your favorite stories over and over again, where each chapter drifts into the next, like waves upon this ancient, whispering sea. As the evening deepens, you decide it's time to make your way back into the heart of the city, where the tempo has shifted into a gentle lullaby. Wandering through the dimly lit streets feels like pressing shuffle on a playlist that surprises you with every song. Each corner turned revealing hidden gems and unexpected beauty, like stumbling upon a half-eaten candy bar found not melted in the depths of your cozy sofa. Back in the city, the air is alive with the rich resonance of prayer, calls blending seamlessly with the hum of conversations in myriad languages, an orchestra of life that weaves through the night. You continue down a narrow alleyway where the smell of roasting chestnuts mingles with the faint scent of incense drifting from homes and shops alike. Here and there, faint notes from a lute player echo, threading stories into the gentle hum of history that wraps around you. You find yourself in a central square, a mosaic of light and shadow, where people gather as they have for centuries, families and friends meeting under the twilight canopy. There's a familial warmth here, the same kind that finds you on lazy winter afternoons when you curl up with homemade cocoa and a well-loved book. Honestly, isn't this the charm of history? Threading connections from past to present like knitting a familiar blanket, each row a tale, each stitch a memory. Here we'll find a quirky custom at work, shadow puppet theater, an art form that's entertained generations, kind of like binge-watching your guilty pleasure series, except way more imaginative. These flickering silhouettes dance against white gold canvases, pouring snippets of folklore and humor into the attentively gathered crowd, blending playful comedy with sharp wit. It was storytelling in its purest form, kind of like a meme. Entire narratives compacted into delightful, engaging moments. Historians still argue whether these performances were mainly a reflection of societal life or gentle satire. Were they Shakespearean in their subtlety, or simply durable escapism? This means that even now, as you sit among the audience, you become part of an age-old debate, feeling connected to an ancestral understanding of art as a bridge between reality and imagination. The scene shifts with the breeze, and a sense of community spills softly around you, as familiar as the dinner table back home. Around the square, vendors sell cool beverages sweetened with rose water, their sharp sweetness unexpectedly refreshing, much like a light-hearted joke or a friend dipping into the group chat with just the right words of encouragement when you need it the most. The square, with its vibrant tapestry of people and stories, seems to pulse and sway with a conscious rhythm, a reminder that even in history's faceless march, people have always found ways to connect, share, and create shared moments of joy. Your eyes settle on lanterns twinkling above, cradling small flames that flicker like ancient symbols of hope and welcome, each glow inviting you further into history's embrace. As the night deepens, weariness begins to weave itself into your journey. You feel yourself sinking gently into its soft hold, much like cozying into a well-worn armchair, next to a quietly crackling fireplace. A place you promise to return to someday soon. With a heart full of memories that feel lived in, not borrowed, you walk away from the square, your footsteps marking the ground as the final cadence in a day rich with stories. The city whispers farewells on the cool night air, and as the stars blaze their quiet song across the horizon, you know the Ottoman Empire, once so dauntingly vast, now stands etched into your soul like a comforting lullaby. Peering one last time at the life around you, you breathe in the night, a quiet promise to weave your own stories, one gentle word and soft step at a time. As you drift into the gentle embrace of rest, history doesn't feel like a distant place anymore. It's a whisper, softly echoing into the present, gently lulling you to the edge of sleep. As you meander through the narrow alleys, back toward the familiar embrace of your temporary home, the city wraps around you like a favorite oversized sweater, one you'd wear as you sip tea that's cooled just to the right temperature. The cool night air invigorates your senses even as it tugs at your eyelids, coaxing them downward, heavy with the comfort of another world lived vividly, if only for a day. The glow from the street lamps pools beneath your feet, a soft guide along cobblestones that have borne witness to centuries of travelers, merchants, and dreamers. The light dances softly, a gentle staccato against the hushed symphony of a city settling into rest, much like when the vibrant chaos of daytime notifications finally gives way to the gentler lull of evening whispers. You pass under archways cradled by intricate designs, their elegance slowly revealing itself under the cascade of moonlight, a quiet artistry that the Ottomans mastered, echoing through the delicate whispers of leaves stirred by a gentle breeze. These arches tell stories of grand ambitions and serene reflections, much like the never-ending playlist you fall into every night when the world feels too much. Historians still marvel over whether the architectural splendor of the Ottoman era was more a reflection of divine inspiration or sheer earthly grandeur. Was it collective spiritual aspiration that shaped these stones? Or perhaps it was the ambition of architects dreaming beyond their time. The debate continues, each theory as enticing as the mystery it shrouds. Finally, your footsteps slow as you approach a small cafe, still aglow with warm, inviting light. A simple refuge that whispers, "Come in, stay a while." The same way, a good book sometimes calls out to you long after it's time to sleep. The cafe's door swings open with a familiar creak, and the air inside envelops you with the rich, comforting scent of cardamom and cinnamon. Aromas so nostalgic, they might as well be written into lullabies. A soft-spoken barista smiles from behind the counter, offering you a cup of salep, a creamy, warm drink, perfect for this time of night. The first sip instantly wraps your senses in a gentle embrace. Its sweetness, like the warmth of a kind stranger's simple kindness, spreads through you delicately, bringing with it a sense of home. Sitting down, you watch as the last patrons slowly fade into the night, their laughter leaving traces that linger like echoes of past conversations. The cafe itself seems to breathe a sigh of contentment, much like the feeling when you finally let your phone slip from your fingers, giving in to the irresistible pull of rest. As you settle into the moment, a feeling of profound tranquility washes over you. Here, in this quiet corner of history, you find solace in the rhythms of lives intertwined, from the past to the present, each thread connecting us through the ages, part indulgence, part revelation. With the night's quiet spreading like ink on parchment, your thoughts dimly drifting toward sleep, you allow one last look outward. The Ottomans knew, perhaps better than any, how to embrace the vastness of their story. In grand halls and humble corners, in royal courts and bustling bazaars, in whispers shared across moonlit waters. And as your eyes finally close, history sways gently around you, a nurturing tide that lets you sail freely on the waves of dreams. In this peaceful realm of echoes and possibilities, you nestle deep into the embrace of night's soft hand, where the Ottoman Empire breathes, endless, timeless, whispering you gently toward a dreamful rest. The world slips away as the velvet night deepens, and you find yourself drifting into the heart of an Ottoman dream. The boundaries between past and present dissolve effortlessly, much like ink diffusing into water, creating waves of stories that cradle you softly. In this dreamscape, you wake in a courtyard surrounded by ornately carved marble, where every corner seems to echo with forgotten laughter and soft, lilting music that hangs in the air like morning mist. You stretch out, feeling the cool stone beneath you, its ancient pulse steady beneath your fingertips, grounding you in a way that makes everything feel possible, even as you float among the clouds of time. The familiar scent of jasmine greets you, a fragrant companion that seems to follow you throughout this dream. It's a perfume of calm, reminiscent of those long weekend afternoons spent lazing in the garden back home, tracing lazy circles in the air with your thoughts. Here, each breath feels like a painting in motion, splashed across a tapestry that carries tales of travelers and dreamers like yourself. Among these whispers of history, you wander freely, stepping through archways that open into vibrant gardens where peacocks gently strut, their feathers a living mosaic that hums with the colors of the dawn. Flowers bloom like forgotten treasures, a riotous display of scarlets and silvers that sway rhythmically in time with some otherworldly beat, their petals blushing as you pass. And here's a curious note for your dream diary. Did you know that Ottoman gardens were thoughtfully designed to evoke the paradise of the afterlife? They believed in cultivating earthly heavens, much like curating the perfect playlist that cocoons you in a world of your own making, balancing complexity with simplicity. Historians still debate whether these gardens served as intimate retreats from imperial politics or public showcases of power masked as peaceful sanctuaries. Were they deeply personal escapes or merely grand displays of imperial might? In this dream, it hardly seems to matter. All that matters is the peace you find here, a gentle harmony of sun, shade, and soft, stirring breezes. As you wander, a stream gurgles alongside your steps, its clear waters laughing over smooth stones and around your ankles like a playful echo of time itself. You end up on the banks of a serene pond that shimmers under the gaze of a sun that feels warm and familiar, though distant and dreamlike. There, as you lean into the embrace of a weeping willow, its leaves forming a verdant canopy over your head, you feel a quiet lull. It's the kind of comfort that sits soft on your shoulders, like an old friend who knows your stories by heart. In this dream, connections weave as effortlessly as whispers on a breeze, an experience as ineffable as love or time itself. With a gentle sigh, you close your eyes, feeling the echoes of history wrapping around you, a blanket stitched with the narratives of ancient empires. Each story is a lullaby in its own right, whispering softly enough to nudge you further into this world of sleep and dreams. With one last, lingering sigh, you drift further into this peaceful realm where history, memory, and imagination blend together seamlessly. Wrapped in this soothing tapestry, you surrender to the embrace of dreams, knowing that just beyond the next soft breath lies the expansive calm that only sleep can bring. And with the night gently fading into the soft edges of dawn, you find solace in the certainty that no matter where your dreams take you next, they will always echo with the gentle hum of the past. As the edges of your dream begin to blur into the quiet stillness of early morning, the sky above whispers promises of a new day through a delicate palette of pastels. The dream cradles you tenderly, softening each stir of awareness as you gradually float back toward wakefulness, like a feather riding on the gentle spin of a slow ceiling fan. In this quiet space between dreams and reality, the world feels suspended, a timeless calm enveloping you with the warmth of a familiar old sweatshirt. You find yourself lingering in the serene moments of the Ottoman gardens, these lush retreats a continuation of your slow dance with history. The distant echoes of laughter and music gently recede into the peaceful hum of a world awakening around you. And here, in this cradle of gentle transition, you sense the timeless whispers of the Bosphorus, water lapping steadily like a heartbeat, ushering you back to the present, softly, naturally. Each ripple seems to carry fragments of storytelling, memories of ancient travelers entrusted to its current, tragedies and triumphs washed ashore upon the sands of thought. You blink slowly, the waking world gradually coming into focus through a veil of softness. The weight of sleep lifts gently from you, like a shadow parting from its owner, leaving behind the ephemeral warmth of dreams. You stretch languidly, feeling the tender pull of reality as though drawing patterns in the air, arms aloft like leaves stirred by a summer breeze. In the shimmering transition of dawn, you breathe deeply. The atmosphere tasting of fresh begins, threaded with a hint of excitement, tempered by the restful calm left by your dreams. You sense the presence of day, nudging you with its gentle insistence, offering you another chance to narrate your story, one colored by echoes of ages past, seamlessly entwined with the rhythm of now. Each sound, sight, and smell reclaims its vitality, softly vibrant, like the bohemian notes into a favorite tune that can turn any day around. The world here, in this moment, is familiar yet refreshingly new, as if seeing it through the eyes of both history's guardian and its wide-eyed learner. You roll slowly to your feet, curiosity pulling you onward. The morning light filters in, breathing life into the spaces you occupy. A cozy room, a twilight haven infused with memories and reflections from ancient journeys and gentle meanderings. And as you step forward into your day, you carry the lingering shadows of night, the gentle murmur of dreams and historical whispers, a companion to your first coffee, your first smile, and your first steps. Today's journey may lead you on familiar paths, or perhaps reach beyond into the unknown, all woven with threads of a story begun in a dream, carrying onward ever onto the mosaic of your own making. Embrace the day with the wisdom and light from nights spent exploring empires and dreams, and let peace accompany you like a dear friend through whatever adventures call you next. In this world, enriched with history, with dreams and morning's calm clarity, let your own narrative unfold, softly and serenely, with the whispers of yesterday gently guiding you on. As the subtle light of dawn breathes warmth into your surroundings, you find comfort in the familiar embrace of your cozy sanctuary. where the gentle hum of the fridge mingles with the soft rustle of a sleepy world slowly coming to life. The room carries a quiet energy, that soothing transition from the dream realm into waking reality, akin to the gentle murmuring of a morning song playing softly in the background. You pad across the floor, the coolness underfoot, a gentle invitation to fully awaken. The hazy memories of the Ottoman Empire linger, like the melodic residue of a lullaby remembered from childhood, carrying a sense of wonder and gentle adventure into your day. It's as if the empire's grand stories and whispers have kindly woven themselves into the fabric of your present, offering fragments of wisdom, mystery, and a bit of whimsy from their midnight transfer. In the kitchen, the familiar ritual of making your morning brew unfolds, each step deliberate and comforting. The familiar hiss and gurgle of the coffee maker seems to echo the softly spirited energy of yesterday's bazaar, where aromas and stories populated streets busy with life. That first sip is like a bridge between awakeness and those quieter moments spent beneath Ottoman skies. The same way each day beckons with fresh possibilities, wrapped in a warmth that dances across your senses, you find yourself reflecting on those distant journeys, how history, as vast and layered as an elaborate narrative, intertwines with the heartbeat of one's own life. Where you were once a passive listener, history now feels tangible and alive, like brushing a dusting of flour from your hands after kneading bread. It leaves a gentle mark while suffusing the air with the promise of sustenance. Standing there, wrapped in the comforting familiarity of your surroundings, you realize that the echoes of the past enrich not just your understanding of history, but the way you engage with the present, painting days with the depth of ages, inviting contemplation and reverence for all that has come before. The Ottoman sun, the bustle of its markets, and the radiant quietude of its gardens have imprinted upon you a sense of being both a guest and keeper of their legacy. And so, with a calm optimism, you face the day. The stories and scents and whispers drifted from dreams into waking life, infusing your reality with a sense of timeless wonder. The way fairy lights brighten a darkened room with warmth and promise. History's tales are now yours too, anchoring today's experiences with the rich presence and memory of all the nights you've traveled through time. You step into the morning, your heart a little lighter, your spirit quietly resilient, like the gentle flutter of pages long turned. With history humming in your heart and the melody of life cradling your thoughts, you embrace the simplicity and extraordinary potential of a new day. A day rooted in the gentle rhythm of the past, forged by the tender, ever-present pulse of now. With the day now unfolding around you, casting gentle shadows that dance across the walls, you settle into the comforting familiarity of morning rituals, the soft rustle of pajamas, the clink of a spoon stirring your cup, entangle with the recollections of the Ottoman Empire that drift like the aroma of fresh coffee filling the room. Through the window, a delicate light bathes the world in a soft glow, much like the woven tapestry of dreams you traversed the night before. It's a reminder of how closely intertwined our lived experiences are with the echoes of history. Each day, a continuation of the tale, a new chapter waiting to be written. Your thoughts wander back to the lively bazaars, the intricate scents of spices, the rustling silks, vivid memories now flickering like a film reel behind your closed eyelids. These snippets of the past feel as tangible as your phone in your hand. The stories of sultans and merchants threading through your morning like whispered secrets, that leave an unspoken warmth. Historians often ponder whether the legacy of empires is their grand narratives or their quiet, everyday moments, the shared meals, the soft conversations beneath star-filled skies. This gentle mystery wraps around you now, a reminder that the beauty of history lies not only in grand events, but in its delicate, transient beauty, the ordinary lives that etch their songs into time. With each thoughtful step into your day, you carry forward the lessons and wonders of a world that once was, its joys and sorrows, ambitions and dreams blending seamlessly with your own. The world feels both vast and intimate, each moment resonating with a quiet promise of togetherness that traverses time, much like the connections forged over shared cups of tea and stories on a rain-soaked afternoon. In your hands rests the power to dive into these tales again, to explore and understand the lives once lived beneath the Ottoman skies. Like a thread pulled through the quilt of life, each story shapes the fabric of who we are, inviting a newfound appreciation for the touchstones of living: love, curiosity, resilience, and the gentle embrace of time's endless flow. As you move through your morning, the rhythmic cadence of life's steady march welcomes you. Whether you find yourself returning to the daily rhythm of tasks or savoring moments of quiet reflection, the stories of the past cradle your journey with unyielding grace and warmth, like the whispered comfort of well-loved tales unfolding in the gentle crackle of a fireplace. Embrace the day, weaving its experiences into your collection of moments, confident that each step tells its own story. And as the day stretches out before you, hold on to the gentle truth that history is more than a collection of dates and events. It's a chorus of lives, each echoing into eternity, whispering through the fabric of the present as an unfolding tale coaxing you onward. The morning sun climbs higher, casting a gentle luminescence over your world, touching every surface with a delicate hand, as though trying to coax the stories sewn into your dreams from the night's embrace. With each passing moment, you're more grounded in the now, a world that feels simultaneously new, yet comfortingly familiar. You dress for the day, feeling the soft textures of your clothes and thinking back to those extravagant Ottoman garments, each piece a masterpiece woven with intention and history. With a smile, you realize that while your wardrobe choices might not set social hierarchies in motion, they do echo the time-honored human desire to express ourselves through what we wear, weaving stories through fabric, just as past generations did. As you sip your coffee, its warmth cascading through you like the gentle lapping of waves on the Bosphorus, you reflect on the moments and faces from your dream, the hustle of the marketplace, the gentle grace of the water, the quiet grandeur of the Sultan's courts, and the laughter that echoed like ancient music through the cobblestone streets. In the quiet moments of your morning, you find yourself pondering an open question reminiscent of late-night conversations and scholarly debates. How much of history is shaped by necessity and how much by choice? Historians might argue endlessly about the purpose of imposing vast laws or constructing grand palaces. But within each of these lies a choice made by people just like us, seeking beauty, connection, and meaning in their landscapes. Now, slipping on your shoes, those worn soles that map out the numerous adventures you've taken, you're reminded that each day is its own journey. The stories whirling around you merge softly into the melody of a day beginning, one filled with potential for new narratives to unfold, like cameras rolling on life's endless documentary. Stepping outside, the world greets you with a freshness that smells of dew and promises, like a garden after rain, vibrant and breathing with life. The quiet hum of daily life revives around you, restoring the gentle pulse of community as neighbors stir and vehicles whir by. A soft backdrop that grounds you in the present while the echoes of Ottoman minarets whisper their lullabies in the distance. With a deep breath, you gather your hopes and dreams for the day, cradling them like fragile blossoms, knowing that they're nurtured by the wisdom whispered through ages. You move forward into the flow of life with an openness to adventures unknown. The stories of ancients layered upon your own, your heart light with the knowledge that every step taken carries onward the vibrant song of history. And as you embrace today's journey, you carry with you the gentle assurance that the future is but a new page in history, inviting, generous, and knowing, and that your tale will continue to write itself upon the world, one step, one breath, one moment at a time. The world unfolds before you like a well-loved book, dog-eared and creased in all the right places, each page imbued with the familiar and the new. As you walk, the sun's golden tendrils stretch further across the sky, meeting your path like a companion eager to share the day's journey with you. With every step, the rhythm of life embraces you, much like the comforting hum of distant conversations that wove themselves into your dreams of the Ottoman night. The city around you awakens slowly, a gentle crescendo of sights and sounds, a mix of laughter, engines churning to life, and birds greeting the morning with optimistic song. These moments are ever recurring, like hitting shuffle on a playlist that's just the right combination of nostalgia and the thrill of discovery. As you wander through the streets, you can't help but notice the small things that ground you in this day. A breeze carrying whispers of cooler air and the sweetness of blooming flowers, the kind that reminds you of the mingling scents of the bazaar. Nearby, a street vendor's stall offers the comforting aroma of freshly baked bread, reminiscent of a dozen meals shared with friends, family, and strangers alike in times both present and long past. The world around you becomes a tapestry of stories, woven as intricately as the silks you once glimpsed in a dream. The rich reds of a dress, dancing alongside the deep blues of a young child's laughter, echoing through the quiet halls of a nearby building. The vibrant textures of history wrap themselves around you in waves, threading connections between the lives of those who tread these paths before you and the footsteps you leave behind. Historians ponder the moments that define a culture, wondering if it's the grand gestures or the fleeting interactions that leave the most lasting impressions. Perhaps it is both, the sweep of an empire's history blending with the quiet echoes of everyday life, each equally important in the grand narrative that continues to unfold. Crossing a familiar park, you're greeted by the joyful cacophony of children playing. Tag, hopscotch, joy-filled pursuits that seem unchanged across time. You pass an elderly couple nestled on a bench, watching the world with the gentle wisdom of years. Their gnarled hands clasped together like the latticework of old vines steadfastly reaching toward the light. There's a beauty in these moments that seems to expand beyond the visible. The echoes of laughter and whispers of rustling leaves feel like an unspoken conversation that bridges time, whispering secrets of the past softly into your ear. Each face, each breath, each slow bloom of daylight bathing the world feels like a reminder of life's depth and the gentle continuity that holds us all in its embrace. As you reach the waterfront, the air is rich with the scent of salt and adventure. The river flows inexorably onward, much like the stories we've inherited from generations past. Its mirrored surface, a canvas of memories, hopes, and dreams, dancing with the sun's reflection. You pause here, taking in the view, a reminder that every day, beneath the sun's watchful gaze, is an opportunity to be both an observer and a participant in the grand narrative of our world. In this space, between what was and what will be, you find solace. The whispers of history are all around you, a profound reminder of the enduring journey we share through time. Buoyed by this connection to both the past and present, you embrace this new day with gentle eagerness, each moment a precious thread in the evolving tapestry of life, ever vibrant and beautifully entangled in the echoes of all that has come before. With the river's soft lullaby fading into the background, you turn away from the water's edge, feeling its cool breeze leave a whisper of calm across your cheek. The city's vibrant energy calls you forward, an invitation to engage with the dance of life that unfolds around you like the pages of a vibrant picture book. Each step resonates with the rhythm of this living history, where past and present blend into a seamless waltz that carries you onward. Venturing further into the day, you find your thoughts echoing with the night's centurial tales, those of sultans and traders, architects and poets, and realize how deeply their spirits infuse every moment with their silent presence. The city is alive with the kind of stories that tug at the edges of your imagination, like threads inviting you to weave your own moments into the tapestry of time. The marketplace you happen upon is a modern rendition of the ancient bazaar, yet it hums with a similarly infectious energy, a symphony of voices, laughter, and the persistent hum of daily life. The stalls burst with color and texture, a sensory feast reminiscent of the vibrant stories painted across the canvas of your dreams. It's the same tapestry of human connection that hasn't changed much across the ages, even as civilizations rose and fell. You stroll past a baker's stall, the aroma of freshly baked pastries mingling with the warmth of the sun, a welcome sensation that wraps around you like the comforting embrace of a thick scarf. The vendor greets you with a smile, offering a sample of delicate phyllo layered with honey and nuts. As you take a bite, you're reminded of the shared meals from your dreams, the communal feasting that defined life in the Ottoman courts. Historians still debate whether such shared experiences were what grounded empires in their time, or simply an artful illusion of community curated by powerful rulers. Perhaps they think it reflects more of a universal human longing for connection, for something as simple as breaking bread together, or as profound as understanding another's journey, despite the centuries that separate you. As you continue your exploration, the city buzzes around you, its noises and stories merging into a comforting background hum, like music playing softly in a distant room. Each interaction, each glance exchanged, becomes a part of your unfolding narrative, coloring your day with vivid impressions that linger long after they pass. Life here is a tapestry of past and present, where every corner turned enchants you with a new scene. A street performer captivating an audience with their acrobatics, a painter capturing the depths of a passerby's gaze in sweeping brushstrokes, an old couple walking hand in hand, their laughter drifting like leaves on a gentle breeze. You pause to watch the unfolding scenes, savoring the moments that spark connections through time, inviting you, an unknown traveler, into the age-old dance of human experience. It's a dance you've come to cherish, a rhythm that beats at the heart of life's adventures, anchoring you in a current that gently carries stories forward through time. With a heart full of these shared experiences, you find yourself drawn back toward home, where the quiet comfort of evening begins its gentle descent upon the day. On this journey through history's embrace, you've rediscovered the magic in every glance, every echo, and every whispered promise wrapped in the corridors of time. As the sun sets, painting the sky in twilight hues of orange and pink, you carry home with you a piece of the day's magic. It's a simple yet profound reminder that every story, every whisper, and every moment of connection is a note in the song of our shared existence. A song that echoes through every silence, every heart, and every dream, inviting us always to listen closely and perhaps to join in.